The gun clicked against her temple, cold and steady. The room fell silent. A dozen young cadets frozen in disbelief. Their laughter had stopped the moment they saw her eyes. Calm, unblinking, as if she'd already seen the end of this moment, long before it began. The one holding the pistol, a reckless trainee trying to prove something, didn't yet understand the danger in what he'd just done. Because the woman in front of him wasn't a target. She was a Navy SEAL. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Lieutenant Erin Cole, and this was supposed to be a routine leadership seminar, a day of discipline, teamwork, and respect. But respect, she quickly learned, was in short supply among this new generation of cadets. They called her ma'am with smirks, whispered doubts when she turned her back, and dared one another to test her patience. She'd dealt with arrogance before, on foreign soil, in combat, in interrogation rooms where her silence meant survival. But arrogance without wisdom? That was dangerous. And as the pistol pressed closer, she could almost hear her old commander's words echoing in her mind. Control the moment, Cole. Never let fear make the first move. Her breathing slowed. The cadet's hand trembled slightly. He didn't expect her stillness. He expected panic or pleading. Instead, she spoke softly, almost kindly. You ever seen what happens when a weapon misfires this close? The boy's eyes flickered. He wasn't sure if she was bluffing. Neither were the others. The air thickened, charged with something invisible but unmistakable. Power-shifting hands, inch by inch. Erin tilted her head just enough for the barrel to slide away from her skin. Her tone didn't rise. It dropped, low, calm, absolute. Put it down! The weapon clattered against the floor. No one moved. The silence afterward was louder than any gunshot. Erin bent, picked up the pistol, and checked the safety with a precision so effortless it was almost elegant. Her hands didn't shake. They never did. But inside, she felt something heavy. Not anger, not pride, but sorrow. These were supposed to be the ones who'd carry the uniform next, and they didn't even understand what it meant. She faced them, her voice quiet but sharp as glass. You think strength is about who holds the weapon. You're wrong. Strength is about who walks away without using it. A murmur rippled through the group. Some looked ashamed, others just stared, realizing for the first time the gulf between what they thought they were training for and what service truly demanded. One cadet, a young woman with a scar on her chin, stepped forward. Ma'am, she said, her voice breaking, why didn't you fight back? Erin looked at her, and for the first time, the steel in her expression softened. Because real warriors don't fight for ego. They fight for life, for the people who can't fight for themselves. She paused, letting the words settle like dust in sunlight. You'll understand that one day, if you earn it. Days later, word spread through the academy. The incident became legend, not because a gun was drawn, but because no one got hurt. Erin never reported the cadet. Instead, she made him run drills until dawn, not as punishment, but as penance. By the end, the boy could barely stand. When he did, he saluted her with tears in his eyes. Thank you, he whispered. She returned the salute. Don't thank me, she said. Thank the moment you learned what real courage looks like. Years later, that same cadet, now an officer, would write her a letter from overseas. He said that every time fear pressed close, he remembered her calm, her voice, her mercy. He ended with 4 words. You saved me twice. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And somewhere, in a quiet training hall at dawn, the sunlight still touches the spot where a weapon once fell. A silent reminder that true power never needs to be proven. If this story moved you, tell me what part hit hardest. And make sure you subscribe for more real, human stories that remind us what courage truly means.